Good morning. I'm really excited to be here today. And
You too.
my question, I feel a lot of emotions and a lot of happiness and a lot of love comes from God for me. And I feel like I want to give it out. And as I'm moving along, I just sold my business, and I've been trying to figure out my calling in life, and I guess that is my question. Is there such a thing as calling in life?
Well, in the sense, we talked earlier about how you were source energy before you came into this physical body. And so, of course, you existed as consciousness, as a masterful creator, and as a powerful intender when you made the decision to come into this experience. And now that you're here in this body as a part of that consciousness, you are exploring and coming to more clarity about who you really are and what you're really wanting. And so it would be accurate to say that even before you came into this physical body, that you had very clear intentions about being an uplifter, about assisting others, about living life on purpose, about being a deliberate creator, about fulfilling your life's purpose, about understanding your guidance system, about coming into alignment. Because before you came into this physical body, you understood all of those laws of the universe. You held holy your understanding of your own worthiness. You didn't feel like you were someone coming to be tested or someone to prove some sort of worthiness. You knew that you were a masterful creator coming into an environment that would inspire you to your specific desires and purposes. So it would not be accurate for us to say that you picked all of that intentionality up along this physical trail, because certainly you are an eternal being who had much intention as you came in. But the intention that you found along your physical trail and what you've put into your vortex, that really is that purpose that is calling you. In other words, sometimes physical beings want to make it sound like before they got here, someone else decided who they were supposed to be, who they were, and what they should get done when they got here. And none of that is the case. Sometimes physical beings think that there is some version of them that God or someone has that they now have to figure out, get on the right path, and live up to. And that's not accurate either, because you are a creator in the same way that you know that God is a creator. You are a creator not only of your path, but you are the creator of the manifestation of that path. Everything about your experience you are the creator of. So the best way that we can define what your life's purpose is that your life's purpose is to be the creator that you were born to be, which means you intended to explore, and you intended to know what you don't want. You intended to know what you do want. But most of all, you intended to be aware of your relationship with this source energy. And that's the thing that so many people have sort of forgotten about, because when you're born into your physical body, and those big ones who got here before you did seem to be running the show, and as they see you, as they behold you, as they hold you as their object of attention, most of them, for most of you, made it very clear very early on that your life would go better for you if you listened to what they had to say. And that if, as you listened to what they had to say, if you defied them, it didn't go very well for you. In other words, they made it quite clear that you were best served by matching your intentions and your behavior to what they thought was the best idea. And so even though in most cases they were extremely well-meaning, what they did not realize that they were accomplishing is that they were training you away from your own guidance system, because you can't serve two masters. You cannot make your decisions about what you will do based upon what your mother thinks or your father thinks or your lovers think or your peer group thinks. You can't make those decisions and at the same time be in perfect vibrational alignment with all that you have intended. And what makes this a little confusing, and we want to clear this up right here and now, is that when you ask for these things, as our friend was talking about choosing, as you ask for things in life that you want as you're moving through life day to day, you're asking so incrementally that there's not a human that we have ever met, and we are aware of all of them, who could accurately explain what they've put into their vortex, because you've done it over such a long period of time, and you've done it so incrementally, and this amended, evolving version of who you are vibrationally and spiritually and soul wise and inner being wise, it has been becoming over such a long period of time. And that's what you're wanting to reach to. That's what's calling you. You're being called to the fullness of what you've become. That's what every emotion that you feel is. So there's not some big finished portrait or picture of who you are supposed to be that was painted and put there before you were even born. You've been in the process of creating it, and all day, every day, it evolves still further.
And it feels really overwhelming when you feel that way, when you feel the love, and you feel like, oh my God, what's next, what I'm supposed to be doing.
But you see, it's not overwhelming. As we were talking earlier about these vortex canal walks, as you are moving incrementally, it is not overwhelming. Of course, your vortex feels overwhelming to you when you're not in it.
But I mean, overwhelming good. I mean, it's just a lot of good.
We understood that that's what you mean. But what we are saying to you is, anytime something feels bigger than you are, or that you're not ready for it, then you're not in vibrational sync with it, you see. And that's the reason that we are wanting you to relax and acknowledge as best you can the well-being that is surrounding you here and now, here and now, here and now, here and now. Because in an acceptance of, or in a appreciation of what is, even if what is hasn't blossomed out to be everything that you think you want it to be, in the appreciation of what is, there's no resistance, which makes you ready to move into the next vibration. There is such power in acknowledging the well-being with where you are. We think that the perfect mantra is to be satisfied with what is while eager for what is coming. Is the very best vibrational stance to be in, you see. So your calling, so let's make these points very clear. Your calling was, you're being self-called. You're being called by your broader self. But who created that broader self? You did. So you're being called by you. It's important to understand these vibrational aspects of yourself. We've used over the years the analogy of the guidance system, that a part of you already is where you want to be and is always offering that signal. And by feeling for it, and bit by finding it, you not only find comfort and satisfaction and ease and clarity and exhilaration, but you also find the vibrational stance that then allows the cooperative universe to yield to you the path and all of the details to all of the manifestations of all of the things that you want. Humans often think that they are here to create things, even empires, or even movements, or even manifested things. And while all of that certainly is part of this spiritually based exploration into the expansion of who you are, what you really are the creator of is you. And so when you accept that both parts, the non-physical, the vibrational part, and the physical manifestational part of you are you, and that your emotions hold the key to the alignment between them, now you can be very clear about where you stand in any moment in time. Now there is no confusion about anything, you see. Helpful?
Yes.
So if we say to you, so what is your path? What did you get from what we just gave you? What is your path?
Being me, living in the now, creating today what I want to create, because I'm the only creator from the beginning till the end.
So what we said to you is, your path is to know what you don't want, to know what you do want, to send the rocket, to be the non-physical inner being who holds the consistent vibrational stance, so that the law of attraction can respond and all the cooperative components are gathered. And then your work is to come into alignment with that. So what is your path? It's interesting, isn't it? What is your path? Is it your path to know what you don't want? Yes. Is it your path to sometimes be negative because you are standing outside the vortex? Yes. Is it your path to know the difference between what feels not good and what feels better? Yes. Is it your path to send off these rockets of desire? Yes. Is it your path to feel the emotional difference between who you really are and who you're letting yourself be? Yes. Is it your path to find the best feeling thought that you can find? Yes. Is it your path to acknowledge that you feel better now? Yes. Is it your path to stay in the vortex forevermore? No. Is it your path to get out there and mix it up so that you can launch more rockets? Yes. Is it your path to eternally become? Yes. So therefore, is it your path to sometimes know what you don't want? Yes. Is it your path to be aware when you're out of the vortex? Yes. Is it your path to be aware when you are in the vortex? Yes. Is it your assignment to always be in the vortex? Certainly not. Is it your path to always be out of the vortex? No, it's not even possible. Is it, so by path, what do we mean by, is it your destiny? Is it the expectation of God? In other words, what's this path all about? You can't get off your path. You can't get off your path. You can't get off your path. You can just decide that you're going to enjoy more of it or not. You can decide that you're going to be more deliberate about it. You see, you could not know anything about this. You could not know about vibration. You could not know about emotion. You'd just be out there mixing it up, and you're still launching rockets into your vortex all day, every day. You're still becoming. And we promise you, when you have your croaking experience, you will allow all that you've become. We just don't think you should have to croak to be deliberate about your creating. And we've noticed, as we have been participating with so many of you, that when you know what you don't want, and then you define what you do want, and then you deliberately talk about what you like best about what you do like, and you acknowledge consciously that you have activated in your vibration purposefully the vibration of what you do want, and you become so sensitive to your emotions that you are really aware when you're out of the vortex and you're in the vortex. So you are deliberately holding yourself in consistent or more consistent alignment with all that you are, so that you're friskier, you're more robust, you're more clear, you have more vitality, you're more sure-footed, you have better timing, you're rendezvousing with more of the things that you want to rendezvous with, you're just in love with life. We've noticed that when you are deliberate about it in that way, and only when you're deliberate about it in that way, does the manifestation of it really please you. Because then, oh, think about the ship in the locks of the canal. Then you're in the place to receive and feel it fully. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who just wasn't getting you?
Yeah.
And you were so worth getting. Oh, yeah. You had such a good point. You were making such a good point, and you so wanted them to get it, but they weren't getting it because they weren't ready for the vibrational blowback experience that you were giving them. They weren't ready, you see. And so when you deliberately prepare yourself, there is a satisfaction in remembering that you knew what you didn't want, and remembering that you launched a rocket, and even recalling that you weren't all the way up to speed with it, and then remembering the thoughts that helped you to click in, and then remembering the improvement that you began to feel, and beginning to remember how much happier you were feeling, and then to begin to watch this cooperative universe at your beck and call yield to you the incremental details of things that would satisfy and delight you. Friends, that is where the feeling of worthiness comes from. In other words, that feeling that so many are yearning for, that's that feeling. It's that feeling of knowing your capability, knowing your value, knowing that you're in the right place at the right time, knowing that you can't get it wrong, knowing that you're right on your path, knowing that you are eternally expanding, and most of all, knowing that you get this emotion thing, knowing that you get the vibrational part of it, knowing that you're molding the clay of energy, the clay of vibration, and that you're playing it just right, and that you're winning again and again. You're winning. You're winning because you're consciously involved in the forward motion of your own life experience. And you reach the place where it doesn't matter to you what one other person on the planet is doing or thinking about what you're doing. Because all of that is irrelevant. All that is relevant is your relationship with the powerful becoming that you cannot stop, no matter how hard you might think you could try. You can't get off your path.
Yes.
Good to know.
Thank you.